So here's an interesting article that I came across today, and it's about central banks and digital currencies, or as they would like us to believe that this is something, all of a sudden, something new that they just decided to investigate. But an interesting article, and it's not by coincidence that this week is Davos, and so of course you got the central bankers meeting together, as well as a lot of other high net worth individuals. So it looks like digital currency narrative that will be spun off by central banks as they look to promote the adoption of their own digital currencies, which is already the rebranding of their digital-based currencies, which is the overwhelming majority of all the currency in circulation for all the banks I'm going to refer to. But it's more so about the removal rather, of the paper units that the public has been used to for such a long time. So get an idea. I'll thumb through it briefly, leave it down below, but just share my 2 cents on it and go from there. But it says central banks move one step closer to issuing digital currencies. It says 6 central banks and the Bank of International Settlements have formed a working group to discuss potential cases. Right. Okay. Discuss. As if this is something new. It says central banks have been toying with the idea of digital currencies for some time, but Facebook's announcement last year that it plans to create its own digital currency, the Libra, has led to increased sense of urgency. And so we all know last year when Mark Carney during Jackson Hole referred to the need for nations to begin looking beyond the dollar. And what better example did he refer to other than Libra, and how at that time he thought that it would have been worthwhile for the Bank of England to begin investigating the digital currency narrative for that bank there. And so once again, we have about 6 months removed from that discussion there. And here we have some think tanks getting together as to how they're going to roll this out. It says to address these concerns, 6 central banks, the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada, Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, Sweden's Riksbank, and the Swiss National Bank, along with the BIS, announced yesterday. And so this article was as of today. So yesterday being Tuesday, the start of Davos. So as I mentioned in the last RTD Quick Take about Ray Dalio getting together, sharing his thoughts. So here we have central banks also discussing similar things about how to get away from their own paper units and issue solely digital backed or digital currencies or whatever they're going to call it. But it says here, with the aim of moving from conceptual issues to the operational issues of running a CBDC, central bank digital currency. So they're not only looking to really ramp it up more so in probably this year, more than likely, but moving away from the concepts to making something actually operational, more than likely, I would imagine, in a very timely manner. But it says here, international coordination on CBDC is important. It says a working group continues the joint work of the G7 and Financial Stability Board. It is important to coordinate because currencies and payment infrastructure will have effects across borders. 2 central banks stand out by their absence, the Federal Reserve and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So basically, as they all got together, the Fed was not there and Singapore's central bank wasn't there. It says, what will be on the agenda of this working group? How can CBDC be implemented without massively disrupting the existing banking system? So once again, how can central bank digital currencies be issued outside of or not disrupting the commercial bank's issuance of currency through fractional reserve lending would be a major issue they have to address. And then it says, what is the division of labor between central banks and the private sector? So once again, more of the details as to how it looks like from what I'm kind of getting from this little introduction of CBDCs is the fact that central banks may be concerned with the fractional reserve banking model because it's obviously ran its course, because the idea of limited deposits but being able to reissue up to 10 times a dollar amount in regards to the Federal Reserve in particular is probably coming to an end because of the complete debt saturation that's surrounding this planet. So I can see these think tanks, working groups getting together, trying to give us that digital currency system that solely comes through the central banks rather than the digital currencies that are issued when a loan is taken out in the form of debt from a commercial bank, i.e., when you swipe your credit card or if you take out a loan. That's been the primary way. And it says, what are the effects of CBDC on monetary policy and financial stability in a cross-border context? So, cross-border context, what that means to me is interconnectedness of their payment systems or whatnot. How can those competing digital currencies not interfere with trade amongst borders or whatnot, and them being able to still position themselves to profit at the expense of the public? So thought I would share this. And so this was a very interesting article here. One of the things that you won't see on your mainstream news channels. What are your thoughts on this? CBDC, central bank digital currencies. Which bank will be, which major bank, which G7 bank, in your opinion, might be the first bank this year or perhaps next year to roll out something that the world will probably follow after? But other than that, hope all is well. Looking forward to bringing more news updates. And other than that, see you guys later.